Hi guys and welcome back to Scribe Gaming. I'm your man Scribe and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Right, we are going to go into week 2, round 1 of my GAC battles, and I'm going to go over my defensive thoughts, my attacks, and my overall battle strategy. Let's get into it. Now you may notice in the box just above my head there is an attractive young man there. That is Infinem. On the live stream in which I recorded these particular attacks, I was joined by him as a guest. Go follow him on Twitch, go follow him on YouTube. So let's go have a quick overview of the defensive setup of my opponent. The northern section, he had Mon Mothma, Geos, Resistance Hero Bros under OG Finn. I wanted to check out the speed on his Resistance Hero Finn. 304, fast but not too crazy fast. And then we've got an a Kylo Ren unmasked with Wampa and Nest. Nothing in this top section particularly bothers me. I have to be cognizant of that handbag brother team. The southern section, we've got Gas, which I was certain he would set on defense. CLS, again, certain I was going to see that with C-3PO and with Chewie. And then GG, which is a fairly staple defense. These ones are pretty tanky. Now, the way I set about my defense had his standard defense in mind. I was aware that he always sets Rey, GL Rey, with Han and Chewie and Gas on defense. With that in mind, I put Bastila, lead with JML and Watt on defense, which I do not normally do. This is because without his Gas, without Han, without Rey to try and counter that team, he's going to have a very hard time one-shotting it. So, let's go into my first battle. The first battle, we are going to be going up against that CLS team just like we did in week 2. I'm taking in JTR with BB-8 and R2-D2. We know the drill on this one by now, guys. There's a little bit of RNG involved, but if you can maintain the correct strategy and the correct modding for this, you should be okay. The first thing that we always do here is try to wave down Chewie with our JTR. So I like to hide everybody, leave BB-8 out in the open so he can get those counterattacks, so he can avoid, so he can call the assists. Chewie resisted the daze. Terrible start for me, guys. I had 130% potency to his 40% tenacity. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. You don't get the luck. We do manage to land a stun on Chewie afterwards. That 85% chance of happening did actually pay off for us on R2-D2 there. And now I'm feeling a lot more confident. We've got Chewie controlled. We've got CLS already with tenacity down. Chewie is already nearly dead, so I'm feeling confident here. I decide to wave down on CLS here, simply because he's got that tenacity down, take away his TM, apply the daze, the ability block. That way he's not going to be doing counterattacks, he's not going to be assisting himself. So right now I'm feeling super confident. I believe we do a burning here to land the burning on CLS to get the kill on Chewie, take him out of the game. At this point, we are feeling super confident. CLS is dazed, can't counterattack. We've got utter control, and I'm feeling great. We get a second wave down on him, pull back his TM, get the ability blocks, all that good jazz. And then we just look to clean up this team. Super happy, super confident with that one. 53 banners I will take every day on that team. So the next team that I'm going up against is the Gas 5s and Rex team. Now, I checked out the speeds. His Rex was about 343 speed after the speed bonus from his unique, but I've modded my DR to be incredibly quick for this 3v3 at 352 speed. So I knew I was going to get the fear off before his Rex does form up, which I think is a really important part of this counter. I land the double fears. We got a nice stagger there on his Rex. This drain is a little unfortunate where we nearly took away all of Gas's health, but didn't quite manage it. All his protection, sorry. Now this is where I made the mistake. In this 3v3, I'd landed the shock on Rex. I really should have just focused down Rex, triggered the sacrifice. Because he had shock on him, he would not gain the health back, he'd only gain the protection. So I would have been able to kill both of these clones well before Gas stood up, and that's really what I should have done. Instead, I focused on 5s, thinking more the 5v5 scenario, and it leads to this situation whereby I did not kill Rex before Gas stood back up. This has led Gas to practically kill my Basti Fallen there, and the counterattacks and the reduction of the max health on my Malak means that he has become incredibly squishy. There we go, he takes out my Malak, and I've still got to take out his Rex. We don't have a lot of health left on Basti. I didn't use the shock there because I thought that's just going to increase the damage that I take. So we end up dropping a battle against the gas. Little bit disappointed, I definitely misplayed that one, but I know now better in future. I just don't often see gas in 3v3 anymore. But anyway, I now have to think about what do I take in to clear up this gas without wasting too much. In 3v3 there are so many teams that you have to take out that you really have to make sure that you have enough in reserve and you don't overkill any team. So I take a look at the top wall, I think what do I need where, and I decide, you know what, in the end I don't think I'm going to need my Thrawn and Vader. So we're going to look to take in Thrawn with Vader and a pre-taunt. Now Gas did kill me in that last round with a counter-attack, that means he's going to have preloaded TM, and he does have just under 300 speed, so he is fast, he's definitely going to go first. I was confident that the amount of fears that I'd put on him means that he does not have his AoE at the start. So, let's go into it. And here's the team. So, like I said, as long as he doesn't have that AoE at the start, we should be fine. Hits the Sith Trooper because of the pre-taunt, fantastic. I just fracture him immediately because there's no way I want to let this guy go. I wanted to land the dots on there, but unfortunately Sith Trooper crits him and Gas cleanses himself when he crits. So I just Merciless and I Culling Blade, I want to get rid of him. Gas is out of there, I felt like that was an okay sacrifice, I didn't need Vader for Geos or for Mon Mothma. So I now decide to go up against the General Grievous squad, and I'm taking in Rex 5s with Zaris. Now Zaris is going to give me the sustain for this team that I need. These guys are all relict, so I figured I'm basically going to be dependent on aerial advantage to take out this Magna Guard. Barriss is literally there to make sure that I don't lose all my health. Health equalization will still heal me through stuff like heal immunity, because it's an equalization effect, not a heal effect. So I figured this will be a fairly good way to keep that sustain and hopefully maintain max health banners for this particular battle. Like I said, when I was thinking about my defense, I was fairly certain he wouldn't be able to one-shot the JML Basti Watt team, simply because he placed too many key teams on defense that are used to counter it. At least that's the assumption. So I cared more about trying to get the one shot here than care about being super efficient. We didn't see a GL on the front wall, but I checked this guy's history. He always sets Rey with Han and Chewie on defense every single time in 3v3. So I was confident that I'm going to see that in the back wall. We get rid of Magna Guard here. He lands that healing immunity, but Barriss is still alive. She is R3, she's fairly chunky. And you see there that B2 AoE just healed up our characters thanks to Barriss's unique. So I don't use the heal here because I want to save it for when we're in a situation like this where Barriss has got very low health. And we're just attacking the B2 right now to wait until we've got Rexolate available on our Rex to take out GG. And here it comes. Bopped him out of existence. Rex 5s just heals up completely there. And we do drop one full health banner because Zaris wasn't fully healed, but I'd still take that. 50 banners on a GG team, not so bad. So we check out the back wall now, guys. There is that Rey with Han and Chewie on defense, and at this point, I'm super happy. We've seen Gas on defense. We've seen Rey with Han and Chewie on defense. Those are key characters that need to be used to try and take out this JML Basti Watt team. So I'm really confident that my defense is going to hold, and we need it after dropping that battle against Gas. So I decide to focus down and take out his version of Rey with Han and Chewie, and this is a fairly standard counter that has been established that I've never used before. So I was a little bit nervous going in thinking, is my Holdo modded well enough for this? Is it going to work out? Now my Rey is currently modded for a lot of offense, so her lifeblood isn't going to heal or provide as much protection as it normally would, because she's only got about 180,000 health compared to the usual 250. But I do have like 11,000 offense. So the idea here, guys, is to just excuse me. The idea here is to just stack lifeblood on Holdo to try and make sure that she does not die to Rey's Whirlwind. Our first Whirlwind will be used to take out Chewbacca, just to yeet him out of existence, get rid of that guard ability from the rest of the allies. We've now triggered the first Whirlwind for us here, guys. Just get a basic heal. Their Rey hasn't triggered their Whirlwind yet. We go ahead, yeet Chewbacca out of existence. Looking good. Their Rey has hit damage immunity and they're about to ult. I don't use my ult here, guys, and neither should you. You want to save your ult for after they have ulted. She's got about 40% of her ult bar, and I know that her Rey is actually faster than mine. So I can ult and not have to worry about me overtaking her in TM. So there's the 1 damage, the 1 damage. I place Master's Training on Holdo. That's going to give her additional defense, which is great. Her ult does nothing to us. We land our ult. We do some decent damage, about 180,000 damage each. And I'm just saving that big heal. There we go. Holdo eats a whirlwind. Still basically had max health. I whirlwind out their Han, and it's just Rey versus my full team right now. So I am sitting pretty at the moment. I'm pretty happy with the situation as it currently is. I'm just thinking I just want to try and max out as much protection, as much health as I possibly can on that Holdo. I really should have used Master's Training there to hide Hoda, but I didn't think about it. Right now I'm just trying to time it out so that we try and get one more big heal from Hoda to try and heal up. Obviously we ult again to survive this. We don't quite manage to get the big heal, but this is where we get fortunate. We land the ultimate there. It basically kills the array, but doesn't quite. I get the big heal off from Hoda, and then I can just whirlwind Rey. 53 banners in Rey Han Chewie. Oh, beautiful. Okay guys, so for the next battle, I decided to take in Princess Leia lead with Han and Chewie. Now I'm taking this up against the Resistance Hero Brothers because I figured we might as well control that team despite the speed. We hide the Princess Leia. I took her in for more meme effect than anything, to be honest guys. And the idea here was to just try and control the team. Once you get rid of the Res Bros, it's really not a bad situation at all. There's quite a lot of control in this, and these guys are dodging so much, it's a little bit unfair, I think. But overall, this was a fairly decent team to take out this team. Again, I was more concerned about getting as many one-shot full clears as I possibly can, because we dropped that battle earlier, but 53 on that one, I'd take that. So next up, we decide to go up against the Nute Gunray team. Because it's got B1, I decided Shaak Troopers would probably be a pretty good way of dealing with it. We'd be able to do a lot of assists on that B1, shred the stacks as fast as possible, so that we don't have to worry about it constantly staying alive and dealing lots of damage. So I immediately give the bonus turn to Arc, I believe, just to get the additional attacks. We pass the turret over just to get, the additional assists now whenever Echo does his attacks. And yeah, that Django is actually incredibly nasty. He is a relic Django, which means he's going to do some serious damage. Nute gets his extortion off. I want to pay that immediately because I don't want that speed down impacting me. So there we go, that B1 stack, it's basically gone now. I give the bonus turn to Echo this time, taking out that stack of B1. We take out the first Nute, he gets his bonus turn, nearly kills Shaak T. And then here is where we get a little bit unfortunate, I believe. The heal immunity there stops us from regaining that protection. Django double taps Shaak T, and then Nute goes ahead and uses his extortion and kills her. So we lose a couple of banners there. I was pretty grumpy about it, and I was a little concerned that if we don't take out this Django, he's going to kill the rest of the team. But we focus him down, we get the kill. Terrible banners, but we did one-shot it, I guess. Okay, so we decide to go ahead and use a gas solo against the crew with Wampa and Nest. I know that my gas has got lots of speed, can't be stunned. Well, he can be stunned, but you'll just cleanse it if he gets crit. So we go in with the big hit, we immediately yeet out Nest, and then we counterattack Wampa. 55 banners for a quick and easy victory. I'll take it. So I'm taking a look at the remaining two teams in the top wall. We've got Geos and we've got Mon Mothma. I decide Geos, pretty standard counter, will take in Darth Traya and Scion. I only took in Wampa here as an insurance policy, simply because he does have a droidica. I really didn't need to do it. It was not worth it. It ended up costing me banners, and I won't do it in future. This droidica was only gear 12. It's not something that did enough damage to the rest of the team. And of course they focused down Wampa because he was the weakest team in the weakest character in the team. I should have just gone straight up Traya Scion, but like I said guys, I wanted to try and ensure the victory here. So standard business guys, we get the isolate off on the brute, and then I just want to try and focus down everybody else. I'm leaving Droidica alive right now because I want to get rid of the spy, less Geos, less maximum health for them, all that good jazz. We've already got held by hatred here, so I know that we've definitely won this. Just want to take out that GBA as soon as possible because he's just frustrating more than anything else. So we keep the focus on him, and we just, whenever we can, we cleanse off the damage immunity off that droidica to stop him getting any assists, so we can do some damage, etc, etc. Just focusing down this GBA right now, recover some of that protection, because GBA had pain on him. If we use the second special from Scion, it does mean we recover that protection lost. And I saw that we had another Held by Hatred there. I was like, potentially there we could use it to decrease our cooldowns, because we get a bonus turn from it. So I thought, why not? We'll do this. We'll spread that. We'll get rid of the damage immunity once again, and then big hit on the GBA there. Heal immunity, ability block, can't heal, looking good. Take out the GBA. At this point, I'm like, well, do I really need to have Isolate on Brute anymore? Maybe I just put it on Droidica to stop him gaining buffs. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to lay in the pain to Brute, and then we isolate Droidica. That means no more buffs for you, no more damage immunity. Happy days. Just got to take care of this Brute now. There he goes. And we're just left with Droidica on his own. Like I said, I didn't need to bring in Wampa here at all, guys. I could have just Traya Scion this and saved myself a couple of banners. But there we go. I decided to take out this Qui-Gon, Mason, Ayla team, and I figured, you know what? I could probably just Jedi Knight Luke this, solo it. They're not particularly tough. Yes, that team's got stuns, but Jedi Knight Luke laughs in the face of stuns. So yeah, like this one's nothing to write home about, guys. Luke has got great solo potential. We just, as soon as we take our turn, we land the stun, we use our Heroes Arise ability, get that Jedi Will's buff running. So we're going to counterattack now whenever he hits us. Good damage. Nearly one-shot Qui-Gon Jinn there. One-shot Ayla Secura, and then gets the final tap on Qui-Gon Jinn. Good banners there, 53 banners. 55, sorry. I'll take that all day, every day. So all that we've got left in this southern section now, guys, is this resistance team. I still have a decent amount to attack with. So I figured I could just go Jedi Knight Revan and GMY. I could take in an additional Jedi, maybe someone like Jolie, or maybe Ahsoka, just for the additional security, but I thought, really, there's not a whole lot here that I have to worry about. The idea here is I want to get rid of Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca at the start to make sure he doesn't take a bonus turn, so he doesn't land those AoE stuns, etc. But I did forget that Scavray can actually attack through Foresight. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part. We take out Chewbacca at the start, and then I think, okay, Scavray is definitely our next target. Let's try and get rid of her. She does do some serious damage, as we can see here. Big hits there, gets rid of all the protection on my JKR. Probably should have just taken her out at the start, but there we go. She's gone, and then I just look to take out Poe. Yeah, we didn't do great for banners because we did lose a lot of protection, but at the end of the day, it's still a relatively good counter, and I had the team to burn, so yeah, could have played it better, but we got good banners on the end. 54 banners there, lovely. Missing out on one banner from max protection. So that's the back wall cleared. We've just got the Mon Mothma team at the top, and it's going to be fairly straightforward, guys. Mon Mothma, I'm just going to take in my Padme team. I've got to relegate Kenobi, got to relegate Jedi Knight Anakin. The way I see this, shouldn't be an issue. We might have to time the clear just because of all the revives and the health equalization and the healing that Mon Mothma teams have, but yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Because of all the out of a turn tax that this team does, that's just going to be providing me with a lot of bonus protection. I used Padme's heal there just to get that bonus protection started so we can't get crit. And yeah, I just start going to town. My idea at first was to try and bring down their average health together, try and land the stun on Biggs, but he just keeps on dodging. Really frustrating. And try and bring down their average health so I can bring them down together, potentially with an Anakin AoE. But it just doesn't seem to be landing for me right now. Not doing a lot of damage to that Biggs, so I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go after Wedge right now. I changed the tactics over to maybe I just decide to kill them, burn through the revives on Mon Mothma, and just keep up on the offensive front here. Do another AoE from Anakin there. I want to try and get the kill on Biggs. We do it, but immediately Mon Mothma revives. So, a little frustrated there, but it's part of dealing with this team. We're not going to lose. Our only threat is a timeout. And and I was pretty confident that we're not going to time out here. We will get all the kills that we need. So I just focused down Wedge. I know she recently used her revive, so she's not going to have that. Just building up the protection up stacks, and focus down on that Bigsy boy. AoE, we cleanse off all those buffs. He does have that evasion up, which is very frustrating. We kill him. Job done. Big kick from Padders, takes out Biggs, and we make it into Chromium, I think. So we reveal the back wall, and my research of this guy says he always saves his get 2 fleets for offense. I check it out. No get 2 fleets on defense. So I know that fleet shouldn't be a problem for me. I have both of mine for offense to ensure that I get that full clear. So I'm pretty confident in this position that I should be able to get the full clear. Now, usually when I take my get 2 fleets against Empire and Rebels, I like to make sure that I use the Negotiator against the Rebels, because the bus droids often get cleansed against Rebels, and if they get all those assists off at the start, you can often lose a lot of banners very quickly against Rebels. So I use Negotiator just because I find it has more consistency and gives better banners overall. I decide to just take in Plo Koon as a reinforcement. He's there to try and recover banners at the end, just to, you know, give me some additional health and protection. But we're going in with a standard lineup here of the BTLB Y-Wing, Anakin, and Umbaran. I immediately want to focus down Biggs, because I want to make sure that I'm able to target the Y-Wing here with the mass assist. Now, we didn't quite kill him, but the AoE basically kills the Y-Wing. So the BTLB Y-Wing that we have then does the AoE. Because the Rebel Y-Wing was on such low health, it takes the additional damage from the AoE, take him out. And you know how it is with Rebels, guys. The less number of units on the field, the more effective you will be against them. I decide not to reinforce with Plo here because I think we've got pretty much max health on everybody. We're not going to recover all the protection. So I want to save it for later in the match, because I don't want to lose the banners on Plo. I bring him in now just to try and recover the banners on the BTLB Y-Wing, get the additional turn. Unfortunately, we keep on landing all the debuffs in the world, and they keep on getting cleansed by the Millennium Falcon. So we take out Biggs there, nice big damage, bring the taunt back over to the Y-Wing. We still have no target lock on the field, which is very frustrating, and that's a very squishy Phantom 2. Very squishy, easy to chew through. He's about to get another reinforcement off here. I save the AoE because I know that he's getting a reinforcement now. Hopefully we do some good damage to the Millennium Falcon next. He's got target lock, boom, he's out of there. Very weak looking Ghost as well. I used the ultimate just for the sake of it, because why not? Anything would have killed that Ghost at that point. 65 banners, whilst not the highest banners in the world, it's still a one-shot clear, and I know that my defensive fleets can still provide me with good defensive banners. So we've just got Malevolence left now to take out the the Empire fleet that he's got. I'm going in with Sunfac, the 2 Separatist droids, the Vulture droid and the Hyena bomber, and I take in Spy as a reinforcement just to guarantee that we can chew our way through that Houndstooth. The reinforcement, the special ability of Spy, does a lot of damage. My Spy is Relic 4, so I was fairly confident that we should be okay on this one. Now, my aim here is to try and get rid of that TIE bomber before he can do too much AoE damage. So we focus him down pretty heavily. We get the stun off with Sunfac before he even manages to do his AoE stun, which is great. We take some AoE damage there from the capital ship, and I immediately reinforce with Spy. My idea is he's got 2 tanks that are taunting, so we know that the focus is going to be on the TIE Advanced, Vader's ship. So I just focus down both of them. We're down to just Bosk now. Just Bosk, and I know that it's not particularly strong. It's taking quite a lot of damage from the assists there. The reinforcement, being Slave 1, shows me that the rest of his fleet here is not particularly strong. It has a high priority reinforcement, but putting me on there actually hurts this fleet more than it helps it, I feel. So I'm feeling confident at this point. I just want to get rid of that Boba Fett, because I know that the base attacks that I'm going to do to Houndstooth is not going to do too much. He says that, but then nearly kills a Houndstooth with a Vulture droid. And yeah, I'm feeling good. We get the Buzz droids out. We would have if he'd have dodged and then resisted the stun. God, some RNG favouring our opponent's defense there. But yeah, at this point we know that Spy's big hit is most likely going to take out Houndstooth. Boom, full clear, 66 banners. 65 and 66 on fleet, I'd say is still pretty good. So that's the wrap up there, guys. 2,644 banners. At this point, my opponent hadn't attacked, but he has now. So we're going to go into the review stage now, guys. Bear with me. And there we have it, guys. He's obviously struggled. Let's go and check out the front wall. This is exactly what I wanted to see here. 4 holds from my JML Basti team, simply because we scouted his defense and he doesn't change up his defense at all. So I knew that this team is likely to be very difficult to beat. But the fun doesn't end there. Because of 3v3 and how many teams you need to place on defense, how many you need for offense, it does mean that he really struggled on the back wall as well. We got 3 holds on this resistance team here, which has just got the OG Poe with veteran smuggler Chewbacca and our resistance trooper there. Not only that, but if we check the front section over here, which had fairly standard defenses, we've got 5 holds each on Rolo and on our Nute Gunray team. The rest here got one-shotted, but by that point he'd been completely drained of all teams. So massive success there, guys, massive success. We managed to hold 2 zones in total, lots of battles held, and overall strong victory. Alright guys, that's going to about do it. If you did like this video, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing to your boy Scribe. We'll be doing catch-ups of the rest of these 3v3 GAC matches as and when we do them. I hope to see you there, guys. But until the next video, peace out. Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.